The jitters up.
We are live now.
We are live. I see it now.
Absolutely. I can feel it. No wonder I was looking on the other channel. I was like, there's nothing there. Hi, welcome to the Wait and Bake show. With today's a special show because we're talking about cannabis, CBD, and booty and sex.
Yeah, sexual health, right?
Sexual health, yes. Not just booty. Sexual health. It's not just about booty. So thank you for joining us today. Some of you guys have sent really cool questions. How have you been?
I've been all right. How
was your weekend?
It was good.
What did you do? Anything exciting?
Came down from up north. Still have mud on the truck. Glad that we're getting all this rain, all that natural water coming down, and good sunshine. I know people are having havoc with all the bugs and all that, but we really need that moisture.
It's wild because we're out here in the desert, so you get some rain and it's just so transformational. It's beautiful out. I love it.
Yeah, the drive up north usually just brown, but everything right now is green, lush, rolling hills, wild grass, and flowers growing. So it's getting pretty out there, transforming the state.
Okay, so if you hear laughter, a lot of it's not just us. There are people out in the lobby
laughing at us
right now, I think. So
it's on the other side of the control glass.
So yeah, let us know where you're listening to us from. So if you're on Facebook, let us know you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, let us know you're on YouTube. But really, I have gotten really cool questions from all over, and we really are, because it's a bigger deal here than we think it is. Let me put up that other feed there. Our weekend was kind of just laid back. Watched Suicide Squad.
Nice. What did you think of that?
I think Suicide Squad sucked. Only because I'm a comic book nerd anyway, and if anybody was watching that movie and you saw rats run up the side of Starro, hoping not get in the way, but that's not how that would happen.
Well, what I learned was that it was a test movie, that they were testing their CGI capabilities that had a lot to do with organic material. So things that they could get to show up really good on screen, like blood, guts, and gore stuff. And that this was kind of like a throwaway script, and they're just testing all this new CGI and all this new technical capabilities they have in movie making. So it was kind of a test market, get it out there, see how it looks on film, and they didn't really put too much effort into
it was just kind of, it's like, I think that, what's her name? Robbie, the girl who plays Harley Quinn, was kind of like, hey, they give me a few $1 million, I'll dance and do whatever you want.
Exactly. I think they run.
I am so, but Peter Gaelic is on here. Hello, Peter. You're back here again. Any questions about cannabis, CBD, and sex, sexual activity, that kind of stuff? Please let us know, and we'll bring it up. Matter of fact,
get repositioned here and stream.
Yeah, you need to be comfortable, man. Don't be uncomfortable here.
We're good.
And yes, how do we know each other? I have known Sean here for a couple of years. Really good guy. We're both in the CBD and cannabis business together and separately. So yeah, that's how we know each other. And we like good hemp and we like good weed. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, well, you're a friend of mine now, but we started off as just meeting at a live event, and
that's right, deeply rooted.
Yeah,
deeply rooted in CT wellness, and one of these days we'll get either one of our business partners on here, Justin and Seth. But those boys are just trying to make money.
So, they're off camera. They're off camera.
They're off camera. They're doing all that stuff off camera. Oh, we got a question already.
Oh wow.
Very simple. But Anne wants to know, could you tell us separately why or how does CBD or THC help with sex? So
okay, it's something that is a good question, right? We'll kind of kick us off in that direction. Is we have the CB1 and CB2 receptors that we know are all throughout the body. And some of the main receptors that we see in the brain in the CB1 THC molecules, they're also present in other areas of our body, like a lot of concentration in the groin and gut. So we know that, these molecules that we have, when we take them in through CBD and THC, they're going to different areas of the body, and they're going to different parts and affecting it differently. Anti-inflammatory and reduction of pain, spasms, things of that nature. So we're talking about increased blood flow, but we're also talking about decreasing in, anti-inflammatory properties, and helping with cell growth and new cells and, pain relief. So when we're talking about CB1 receptors, and we're seeing that the CB1 receptors are being affected and they're in the brain and in the groin.
You keep saying that a lot. Why am I receptors my groin?
I don't know. That's something we haven't figured out, but we know that there's a concentration of them there. And CB2 is also around that area, but more concentrated in the gut and the GI tract. So, there's probably some good health benefits to having a regular, healthy, sexual life, right? And that CBD and THC are definitely working together and doing something together. We're working in the brain and in the gut and in that area. So,
okay.
I'm seeing it as a lot of people who use it often can tell that they feel the effects of it, kind of like how sometimes red wine can even, promote that for some people,
Well, this guy Vince here just asked us, and he's laughing about it, but he's saying, why do I feel so good when I use marijuana and have sex? That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying is we have so many nerve endings there, right? The tip of your tongue, the tip of your finger, your genitals, tons of nerves. And this drug is affecting those nerves in a positive way, right? We're talking about getting blood flow there. We're talking about stimulating nerves. And so if you're already feeling somewhat stimulated and you have an increased ability now to maybe.
But he says, this isn't really, I get it here, Vince. That's a good question. But he's talking because why do I want to more?
I think it's because you get relaxed. I think because you feel relaxed, and when you're in that relaxed state, your body is looking for, other things. It's not worried about searching for food or, trying to get into a relaxed state. Now you're relaxed and you're happy. And then what's its next trigger, right? It's like, well, how's the reproductive system working,
Well, Vince, I hope that answers your question for you.
I think it feels good just because we have so many nerve endings in that area, and we're affecting something that affects our overall mood and the overall stimulation of these nerves and molecules in our body. So
in my country, where I come from, in my country, we call that an aphrodisiac.
Right. And that's what I'm thinking. Like, you could call it an aphrodisiac, but I think,
go ahead. You call it one.
You call it what you want to, right?
I will call it a truck, but it is an aphrodisiac for many. I think you're right. It's about the relaxation. I think some of us never give ourselves permission to quote unquote enjoy it.
Yeah.
And medical marijuana helps increase the libido too.
Yeah.
CBD helps get rid of that anxiety.
Right.
I don't know about, there's a good therapist I knew from years back who used to say that the sex is better because the anxiety is gone.
There you go. Right. So I think it affects people differently. If you don't have anxiety and you're going to, let's say, have a smoke, I've had a lot more patients who haven't been smoking. And when they do, they're like, hey, I've definitely noticed that there's more urges, there's definitely feeling a little more horny, it's like, well, it's an old joke, about that. You get high and you want to fuck. Pardon the French, but.
Okay. He said, I'm sorry to the folks at Facebook, Time Magazine. We don't have a beeping system. So if we do say fuck, please fucking excuse us. Because I don't like the fucking word fuck used over and over. So try to fucking limit that.
We got it out of the system now.
Out of our system. Now, people do talk about the whole blood flow thing because from the guy's standpoint, for the woman's standpoint, blood flow is important too for pleasure and all of that. But for the guy's standpoint, the blood flow is good. But if CBD helps with inflammation, but it still helps with blood flow, you can still have sex. It's not going to make it go.
Right,
boom.
exactly. The last thing you would want to do though is take like a topical cream. Topical cream with CBD in it wouldn't be anywhere you'd want to use it around, that area, because then you're working on anti-inflammatory properties, right? So that wouldn't be good. Taking it as an oil usually doesn't have a libido increase. Anyways, we're seeing more of a libido increase when it's being, you're smoking flower and you're smoking, medical or recreational marijuana. That's typically when we're seeing more patients resulting in having an increased, appetite. Sexual
appetite, lunchtime appetite. The reason why I was just starting to grimace and laugh out loud when we were talking about the topical, because our topical really smells really nice.
Yeah, it's the last thing you want.
That's the last thing you want on your PP is to put our wonderful anti-inflammatory cream on your Johnson. My second question for all of you out there is, why in the hell would you put that cream on your Johnson anyway?
Well,
but there's some 20-year-old guy that is looking at that and going, I wonder what if I put it here.
Right. It says muscle.
So yeah. So as you guys, and thank you to all the people who keep sending us questions each week. We didn't even know this. We had just on the one Facebook channel alone, lots of people here last week. So even though we don't always hear you, if you're on here, say hi, just wave or something so that we know that you're here. But I think some of y'all are afraid to do that because you're afraid your kids or something might be watching. Be like, hi, Mrs. Johnson that lives on 3rd Street, down the street from me. How's your kids doing? I'll bring up another question. Well, it's a good one. The differences between how CBD helps versus THC. Is the THC more immediate and CBD more gradual?
Well, it just depends on how you're taking it in. If you're taking it as a tincture, right, under the tongue, sublingual oil, they're entering your system at about the same rate. So they're going to go and get into your bloodstream and affect the rest of your immune system that way. If you're smoking it, same thing. Both are going to enter your bloodstream at the same rate. So it's going to go into your lungs, it's going to go into the capillaries, and then be sent out into your bloodstream that way. So oil, we're looking at, seconds under the tongue to get into affecting molecules. You might see the onset and, feeling within 20, 30 minutes, sometimes longer, depending on what's in your system, how much you had to eat that day. Where smoking can be instantaneous.
I noticed with smoking, I've heard from others. I heard from my friends, but I noticed a more distinct sexual immediate response with the medical marijuana.
Yeah.
And here's the question that we get, and don't feel stupid about asking this question, guys. It's not stupid. It said, what's the difference between medical marijuana and recreational marijuana? I said, just the M and the R. They're both the same.
Well, yeah, the potency is a lot different. If you're a medical patient, I do believe you're getting a higher quality medication. You can't get the same percentages as rec, I believe.
Well, it depends on the state, I think. Here in Arizona, the medical and the rec are the same.
The same, huh?
Same.
Yeah, well, in other words, I thought they wrote it into there, but
well, if they did, they're not, because I'm medical, and there's a guy next to me at the dispensary.
And he's getting the same.
He's getting the same big ass pre-roll that I was.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is.
So the taxes are what's different.
Oh, the taxes
are a huge difference. Okay. I know when they were trying to write it into the bill, I think that was one of the main stipulations that I think a lot of other states have incorporated, is that it's different in each state. What percentages you can get as rec versus a medical patient. Here, I guess, like you're saying, it sounds like it's just taxes.
Mm-hmm. And Rodney, yes, we will talk about in the future more about politics and the marijuana industry. But everybody's talking about penises and stuff right now, so we're just trying to keep that straight with our sexual stuff
We'll
here.
do sex this week, politics
Politics
right?
next week.
Right out of the headlines.
And well, actually, somebody sent us something in on Facebook Messenger. Oh my, what's that question? If your house is on fire, no. This one is from Miss Stacy, I think. Here we go, her podcast question.
Okay.
And I know of this woman. She's had a lot of problems with pain. She's had some cancer surgery in the past and that kind of thing. Pain is debilitating. Inflammation is mood. The pain and inflammation becomes mood altering. It hurts that much. So aside from the obvious anti-inflammatory benefits, what additional bonus benefits would someone, especially couples, gain from regular use of CBD therapies, whether they be oral or topical?
Okay. That's a great question.
I'm going to say oral.
Oracle. That's what we do it. Together, that's a great thing to do as a couple is massage CBD on each other, massage the CBD oil on each other, right? What a great way to connect with your partner and give each other a nice massage. You're going to get the benefits of.
I'm sorry, we're going to have to put this on hold right now because my wife will be sitting there going, that's what I'm saying. You need to give me more back rubs and massages.
Right. Well, I mean, if you're getting one too, right? I mean, all you have to work out is who's going first. So, yeah, right?
There you go. Right?
Otherwise, I'll go straight to sleep.
Now I'm going to go. I want to hear it when I get home. What are you telling everybody about? No, actually, my wife is wonderful. So, yes, it is part of the intimacy action of that.
You're going to get the health benefits of feeling the pain reduction from the CBD.
And I will say with both forms of the CBD that both Sean and I use and sell, I'll say this, that pain relief and inflammation relief from the topical was great. It really did help relax.
Yeah, you feel like just a little bit of a reduction in pain. Usually your mood goes up, right? If this comes down, the other one goes up. Usually like, yeah, I'm in a lot less pain now, but I'm still pissed. Well, it's, you know what I mean? There are probably other factors and things that are upsetting you. Your anxiety levels will come down more if you use the CBD oil on a regular basis. That's what daily, regular basis. Because all of you guys out there are going, oh, get my oil. Come here, baby. What she's really asking is that long-term daily use. Everybody's happy to get more booty. Exactly. And topical pain relief for the areas that are closest to the surface, knees, joints, wrists, backs, neck, feet. Feet? Talking about feet, you nasty. Brother. I'm glad that these people are asking these questions. These are real questions. Really thinking them, even if they're not asking them, someone else is thinking it. Right. And so, like for me, so on a daily basis, I would use the oil. That just is going to give you a better mood anyway. I know that, and Sean said this a couple of weeks ago. Medical marijuana and CBD are great, but they're not cure-alls. Yeah. You have to take some responsibility for some of this. And also, too, a great sex life has to do with how you treat people. Foreplay is all day, guys. It's not what you do at 8:45 with a Budweiser. It's what you do all day long. That goes along for you women, too. And people are on here, I didn't want some kind of relationship advice. That's for your other shit. I want to know about sex. Right. And now, somebody just asked about mixing alcohol and with marijuana. And yeah, I mean, your alcohol's never been the best factor in any situation like that, right? We've all heard the terms. But yeah, exactly. It's a depressant, and it also is a blood thinner. So it's might put you in the mood, but I don't think it really
You probably won't remember the mood.
Right. Won't really help the situation.
So in other words, you can't. Don't mix the two. I mean, you could. I mean, you're there.
Yeah.
But is it the great aphrodisiac you think it is to have a 6-pack and a joint?
No,
maybe the joint.
No, the joint. Yeah, so save the 6-pack for afterwards when you guys need a drink. Pop a bottle of wine.
I know somebody's going, can't we do both?
You can do whatever works for you, right?
Right. All right, we got another question coming in. Boy, you guys are on fire today. Wow, this is from Elaine. I have lupus and fibromyalgia, and sometimes the thought of having sex can be literally painful. Will CBD and or marijuana help relax the muscles so both my hubby and I can enjoy the experience? Thank you, Elaine. That's a wonderful question.
Wonderful question. And so sorry that you're dealing with that, because that's hard. I would try CBD therapy. Try it as an oral tincture under the tongue. Let it absorb in, twice a day. Let it build up for a few days in your system before trying everything out. That way you can see if there is an effect, that it has. Also, if you want to try other forms of getting THC and CBD together in your system, can't tell people to go out and smoke it. But if you want to experiment with it, it's something you want to try, that might be something that you will find relaxes you enough. And there's some pain reduction as well.
From personal experience, I mean, I get it, Elaine. I've had to use that to not be in pain to do that. So absolutely, you can use, I would say the CBD oil every day would be to combat that anxiety. No, man, that's a really good question, girl. A person has asked another question, but I really can't say it too live on air because I'll just pass out from embarrassment.
Right? I think I know which question you're talking about.
Maybe, we keep talking about this, but I don't think that CBD oil as a lubricant really works because you don't want to lose.
Yeah, I would not suggest it as a lubricant by any means. That's not a really good intentive purpose of what it is. Is it a lubricant? Yeah, it is.
But it ain't a lubricant.
Yeah, but it's not. That's not what you would want. You would, no one. Otherwise, it'd be everywhere. KY would have a CBD, jelly out. There's probably a very good scientific reason why you don't want to introduce it in that way. Now, people dealing with prostate or dealing with rectal problems, we do have patients that we end up having to go suppository and get medication closest to the area that's inflamed. And if we're talking about sex, we're talking about prostate health, and men are having ED issues, right? Erectile issues. Prostate is a big problem of that. It can cut off the blood flow. So those arteries get cut off by the inflammation. The blood flow is not getting to where it needs to be. And now we have problems down there. So that's something that we've helped with, is get patients medication, and especially, if we have to target something, have to get it in that area, then that's a way that you can go. But by itself and its properties isn't a good lubricant. There's much better ways that people can research and find, natural things. Coconut oil is a natural one. There's all sorts of vegetable glycerol.
And don't confuse that there's coconut oil and CBD oil as a carrier, but that's still, you shouldn't use that as just keep oil off your pee, damn it.
Yeah, I would say, because these parts are already they should be already naturally lubricated. If they're not, there's so many products and so much information people can readily find and do their research and find what works.
See, now there is a part of me that wants to take this phone call. My stepdaughter is calling me right now. And I don't think she has any. This ought to be good.
We should be live.
We should be live. Wait. You're live. I'm doing a podcast. I said I'm talking to my stepdaughter. Are you okay? Can I call you back? Because I don't want to embarrass you. Why are you calling me in the middle of a podcast?
know you're conscious. You're popular.
Goodbye.
She's alive and safe.
She's alive and safe because she don't call me that much. So I can't believe you said that on live camera. But there is a company that is in the cannabis industry that makes a lubricant, but I think it's got no CBD in it. Remember, you can absorb THC and CBD through your skin.
Yeah, huge. One of the biggest receptors we have for CB1 and CB2 is the skin itself. The skin is a very, very large receptor, and it knows what to do with those oils.
And then Annie is asking, my preferred ingestion is edibles.
Yeah.
So, but I enjoy sex too. But I hear that, I'm worried. She's worried that the edibles are just going to do that to her and there won't be any sex.
Well, I mean,
Take less.
people I know have definitely had increased sex drive from having edibles. They didn't smoke, they took an edible, and 30, 40 minutes later, they want to, get down to biz and then go to sleep. So
not everybody like you get to biz and go to sleep. I'm going to ask Mrs. Deeply Rooted and see what she says.
That was her.
She goes, oh, he done. He going to sleep. But this actually today was really, really cool because we love all these questions. I still got another one. I want to make sure we get to all of them. Also, too, some of you guys that have problems with sex being painful and stuff, a lot of that is muscular nerve pain. Flower, I have found good indica flower for me, and I've got some really good indica flower through you that really, really helped with those pain receptors because just pain is everything. But for me, the flower and the pain is the best.
Yeah.
Maintenance-wise, the CBD.
You need CBD oil and THC oil too. If you're dealing with that much pain, right? You might have to get an oil just for CBD and get an oil for THC, or find one that has a good mixed ratio already.
So I guess the answer to the edible is just experiment a little bit.
Experiment, see how it works on you. Try it out. Try it out.
Because I
and tell us. Let us know so we can let other people know. Hey, I did this and it worked. Or I did this and it didn't have any effect at all,
Or I did this and all other things happened. I got this trail mix, and I ate the trail mix and I smoked. There was nothing going on.
Deep thinking. Sleeping, right?
It was sleep and deep thinking. So, for me, for the person who's asking about it, I would less is more kind of with the edible and the sexual thing.
I think so. You can overdo it and become too lethargic anyways. Nothing's going to want to.
Your performance might be a little down.
Right?
Do that. Got another question. Thank you guys for all these questions. Oh my God, she just wrote, will the weed stop my husband from being a complete asshole?
It hasn't worked for me.
Well, momentarily, but it won't be like that.
There's other things going on if he's an asshole.
There you go. This could turn into just relationship advice for everyone.
This is a love line for marijuana.
It's a love line for marijuana. Here we go. This is a strain question, and you're better at this than I am. Do you guys, and people are asking, what strain would be one of the best for libido?
I would say any, and anything that's stronger in indica, even like a really good hybrid that's just a little bit stronger in the indica side, I would say that's where you're going to find a lot of that,
I would say
euphoric feeling. You're getting the pain relief, blood's flowing. It's a good mix.
Like if there's a good, like people have their own strains they love.
Yeah,
for
their
that
body
stuff.
reacts differently too to
Right.
different things, right?
You know,
So
like,
it's not a catch-all. Like this works for everybody and this works for everyone. It doesn't. You kind of have to play around with it. If you don't like sativa, then you're not going to find probably a good sativa that's going to work good for that department. So if there's a flower you kind of like already, I would say.
For me, indica is what does it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And it would be blackberry punch. There's one called blueberry acai, but it depends from grow to grow. So like we got some, and it was wonderful, very, very good. But the next grow percentage was less. You know, the THC percentages, how it's grown, where it's grown.
Right.
It's like I try to be careful of telling people that, monkey ice cream will do better than anything else.
Because you go to some place and they have a horrible strain of that. Yeah, it might be the same thing, but they just wasn't grown right, and maybe they used some funny nutrients, right, and it didn't get flushed right, and you get some sizzle in your stuff. Like, what the hell? This is coming from a dispensary. This should be all worked out and tested, but things happen.
And that's the thing I had to learn, because the strains were like, this strain is great for this. And I would go back, a month later to get it and be like, why isn't this doing it? So you really should experiment more. Go to your dispensaries. Here's the other thing. Get to know your bud tenders.
Yeah.
And let your bud tenders know. I hate that term, actually, bud tender.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean.
Yeah. There some educated ones. You got to find the ones that are really educated and versus the ones who are told this is what needs to sell this week.
And one day we'll talk more about dispensaries, the future of, because you got your corporate dispensaries, you got your boutique type of dispensaries.
Yeah, you have everything in between, right?
And in between,
I like the pops and the big companies. Yeah.
I don't know. When it comes to me, marijuana, and we'll talk about that soon, is that I kind of like mom and pop.
Yeah.
They're the ones that hold your hand through this. We know you broke your leg. We know you did this and this.
Right.
Where I've been nearby dispensaries, we don't have this anymore. What? I go, well, it's in the back. We can't sell it because we're trying to get rid of this first. Yeah. I don't ever want to hear that.
Yeah, that's a sales tactic, right? You don't want to go in there and get a sales tactic. This is supposed to be medicine. Yeah, so you walk into a pharmacy, you can only have Bayer. There's
Thank you.
Because we need to get rid of the Bayer first before I can give you the acetaminophen of the R brand. Like what? So our medicine is still up to us, right? We should still have that personal choice to decide what's good medicine for you and what you need, and a lot of the times education. And I'm sorry if you're depending on us for that education. I'm just kidding. But it is. It's self-education. Going out there, finding what works for you. Doing your research and becoming educated, and taking your own health as your own solution.
Oh my God! Somebody just put in a random question. Why does music sound so good?
What a great fucking question! That was the very first thing I noticed. Right? You get high and you put on the headphones and you lay down and you listen to that record, and you're going somewhere. Right?
I remember I was younger, so I'm gonna give away my age, but I was listening to like Rush. 2112 was like one of the first albums I listened to, and I was like, oh my God, this is a completely different experience. It's like I'm traveling there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all I can tell you is if you feel good, the music's gonna sound good.
I think maybe you're more open. Maybe it does put you in an altered state, right? We are dealing with something that is still a hallucinogen.
Right.
And so maybe that mild altered state is just enough you need to interpret those vibrations, because all sound is vibration, and your eardrum is vibrating to that frequency. Your brain's interpreting that frequency as a number. And now all of a sudden you're just binary coding this frequency. And now you're in a place where you're vibrating at that frequency, right? You're a tuning fork as well. So you listen to a piece of music like the Star Spangled Banner or your favorite album, you remember the very first CD or album you bought, and you hear that song, right? And you get the goosebumps. Why is that? I've asked doctors that. Why would a sound produce a physical response to the body? They said, well, you're a tuning fork. So if you are harmonizing with whatever that is, right, because it has an emotional attachment to the sound, or it has just something that resonates with you, right? Resonation. That's it. I think that's why. And I think if you're in that good place and you're slightly even altered in a way that you're more open to those things, is you're going to have a more enriched experience with music. That's why so many musicians smoke. I mean, don't want to give it away, but
They do.
we do. We all do.
God, there's so many.
You get a
old
bunch of
stuff.
musicians together. They're all smokers.
There are musicians that we both know that don't drink at all, but smoke every single day.
Right. Like, alcohol slows me down. I can't be as productive. I can't work, but I can work all day, smoke all day, feel inspired to go write something new, play something. I mean, jazz was based around that, right? Improvisational. Everyone's just sitting in a smoky, dark room, and you playing this, and I'm feeling that, and I'm going to play into that.
I think that's going to wrap us up for today, because we love talking to you guys. Your questions.
Man, what a great questions today from everyone.
And I'm sorry, Elaine, we couldn't ask the other question. That I think that just would have got me thrown out of the building. And I know y'all can just keep figuring out what it was, but I know Elaine and Corey and that they are taking this RV across country, and their son's in baseball, so they're going to go watch them. And they'll be out in California. So peace out, guys. It's been wonderful to talk to you. We're going to be on next week. We got some surprises coming up for you. You may even see us live at the studio here soon. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to us.